Health may be a question of balance, a matter of remaining poised, centered, whole, and controlled, despite the constant pull of outside forces. These influences may be the result of life challenges which tend to imperil the equilibrium, requiring us to fortify our balancing skills, empowering us to stay on course. Health depends on the harmonious development of all aspects of our personalities. Our ability to have fun, to find joy in our work, to love and relate to others. Life's challenges begin early, and so perhaps does the balancing act. Each of us has an innate need for play, for work, for social interaction. Simple building blocks for human growth. But later in life, our place in the world of work assumes increasing importance. Our culture values productivity. We are pushed to juggle job, family, and social considerations in pursuit of success. The price of achievement can be high. Our physical, mental, and emotional health may be on the other side of the scale. Yet, if a balanced approach is maintained toward work and play, toward family and community, toward physical and mental fitness, the possibilities for growth are boundless, no matter what age one may be. At Healthline seminars, Dr. Catherine D. Kramer, Director of Prevention Programs at St. Louis University Medical Center, addresses the challenges to health enhancement.
Each person, as they go through life, encounters life challenges, internal and external, that come to bear on everyday work situations, home situations, and social situations. And these life challenges need to be responded to. We teach an empowerment program so that people can learn how to negotiate life challenges, how they can, in effect, stay on top, be in charge, reach their goal of self-enhancement in terms of productivity, in terms of relationships, in terms of their own health and well-being. Empowerment goes a step beyond knowing the basic skills of what's important in how to take care of yourself physically or mentally or emotionally. When you reach an empowerment process, you learn a way in which you can, in spite of life challenges, make a shift so you can stay on the track towards self-enhancement.
Dr. Ashley Montague, internationally noted anthropologist, author, and philosopher, underscores the need for such approaches to the challenges of everyday life.
One of the most important things that we need to learn is that the way we live has a major part in the way we grow and develop as human beings and the way in which our health grows and develops. So whatever goes on in your experience as a living human being will be operative upon the structure and the functions of your body. All the physical and the psychological stresses to which we expose ourselves are the principal causes of the disharmony that is produced in the body. For example, lack of exercise. We are members of an order of animals, the monkeys and apes, who are the most active in the animal kingdom. Yet we have become the most sedentary creatures on this earth. And it is the lack of understanding of the abuses to which we put both our body and mind, which are responsible for a great proportion of the illnesses and diseases and disorders in which human beings suffer.
We enter the world with tiny, newly made bodies, perfect in design, radiating health and potential, and we are welcomed with joy and enthusiasm. In much the same way that the shiny new accoutrements of our culture are received. New possessions receive tender, loving care, especially when they are new. But caring is a personal responsibility, a lifetime concern. Eventually, mileage, the wear and tear of everyday life, and years of use may cause the mechanism to break down. Tubes become clogged, valves jam, systems fail. We call upon expert hands to repair the damage, restore health to the organism. Highly skilled physicians perform miraculous medical and surgical procedures, returning individuals to productive life.
Any doctor of any experience will tell you that 80% of the conditions with which patients come to him for advice are induced by the way of life. The disharmony between oneself and the environment in which one finds oneself.
Healthcare and healing have traditionally seen shifts of emphasis. In earlier cultures, for example, native healers were sensitive to the relationship between the person and his external world. Curing was a community event involving ritual and faith in the healing tradition. In the 20th century, emphasis has shifted to science and medicine. We put our faith in a new kind of healer, who, backed by teamwork and complex machinery, attacks disease aggressively and is equal to any calamity.
You ready, Ben? Let's do it.
This image of the doctor as hero is part of our folklore. Today, he and his fellow healthcare professionals are re-examining the ideas of past cultures, and with this old wisdom and new technology, are moving the system toward prevention. Modern technology has made it possible to unlock the secrets of the cell itself and to add new dimensions to the restoration of health. But although the doctor can observe the fetus in the womb and watch the patient's heart at work, he may never get to know him.
One of the things that has been responsible for the direction which medicine has taken in the last 50 years is the increase in the technology of medicine. The old-fashioned doctor has disappeared from the scene. Because, after all, what does he know about technology? He used to go to the home of a patient, and with his interest in the patient and the family, gained a great deal of knowledge which the medical man of today, with all his history-taking, lacks about the family, the environment in which the illness or disorder is going on.
The family doctor had more in his black bag than simple medications. Through intimate knowledge of the individual and her surroundings, he was able to advise, to console, and to establish an atmosphere of trust that encouraged the patient to participate in the healing process. But as scientific devices assume a larger role in medical treatment, they make their own demands on the physician, deflecting attention from aspects of a person's behavior that cause disease.
We must remember that in this development of technology, the doctor himself has become technologized. The instruments are there, and they, of course, must be used. And yet the doctor should be chiefly interested in recognizing that there is a human being there, a product of a human environment.
Yep. Harry.
The environments in which we exist are, to a large degree, products of choices that we make concerning habits, work situations, and personal relationships. When we have deadlines to meet, projects to complete, goals to achieve, we may find that our challenges exceed our coping skills.
Well, we do have a couple of things. We got a slight problem.
we sense the balance slipping away, especially when crucial life situations head for collision.
Oh, hi.
Do you have a minute? Listen, I have to talk to you about something. Sharon's teacher called today. She's been missing classes, and we have to talk to
Look,
the principal.
ask Gramps to get over to the school. Yeah, give him something to do, will you?
Look, Grandpa is no help. I need your help with this.
I don't have time for this right now, okay?
Give the guy a break, will you? He's trying to make a living.
I got things to do.
What time will you be home?
He'll be home whenever he can make it.
I have a lot of files to go over, so I don't think we have a lot of time this evening either.
You have to get involved with this.
I just can't do it right now. I just don't have time, okay?
All right. Let's just skip it.
He told you not to bother him at the office.
What we should mean by health is a balance of the ability to love, the ability to work, the ability to play, and the ability to think soundly. Now, those are all words. And the important thing about a word, we must always remember, is the action it produces. That's the meaning of a word. So what do we mean by love? Love is the communication to the other by demonstrative acts of your profound interest in their growth and development and fulfillment, bringing out the best that is in the other and giving the best that is in you. The family should be the area in which this is all recognized. This is where human beings are created or destroyed.
The demands from our spouses, from our children, from our siblings, from those people to whom we're attached, connected, for whom we have responsibility. Those kinds of demands can prevent us sometimes from reaching our goals, for instance. They can actually step in our way, create a roadblock. And these are the kind of challenges that we want to circumvent, that we want to be able to adapt to and change to, so that we can stay on a road towards self-enhancement.
And the right fielder for the Cardinals
Sharon,
is Steve Brown.
could you please help me set the table, honey? Your father's coming home.
Hello. Sharon, it would be nice if you listened to your mother.
Goodbye. Sharon, come back here. Sharon.
Sharon,
What's going on?
I could tell you what's going on. They've been at each other's throats all day.
So where's dinner?
Dinner? That's a good question.
Look, I can't do everything at the same time.
Well, what is the
okay?
problem? Is it Sharon in school again?
Yes, it's Sharon in the school. That's only part of the problem.
Yeah, in my day, children went to school and there was no mistake about it.
Dad, let me talk to my husband for a few minutes alone. She doesn't like school. She's not doing her homework. I can't control her.
It needs a good
You
firm
have to
hand.
take care of her. And
I
you
wish
have to
you
help
two
Gramps.
wouldn't bicker.
Dad,
Gramps,
all the
please.
time.
We only
It's
bicker
an
when you get in the
incessant.
middle. I just came home. Why are you hitting me with this as soon as I walk into the door?
Honey, I've been trying to talk to you about these things for months now.
Look, you know I got a new job. You know how difficult it is.
I wish you two
Just
would
talk
stop.
to her
All right,
now.
all right. Sharon!
The family, which should be a source of strength and support, has become instead another source of tension. Conflicting demands and commitments take a heavy toll on the individual, especially if he doesn't know what to do about them.
Are you feeling all right, Mr. Tyson?
I feel all right. A little tired.
He tries simply to get through,
Okay.
Okay, we'll see you later on that.
perhaps ignoring warning signs of deteriorating health.
Yep. Joyce? Hi, honey.
Listen, Sharon didn't go to school today.
You want me to go now? You want me to leave now, right? I can't. Well, it's impossible. What do you think, I own this place? No. Oh. No. Ask Gramps to go for her, okay?
Look, Grandpa is no help. All he does is criticize me all day long.
Yeah, you're losing control over the child.
I don't feel very well, so I can't really talk right now, okay?
Why don't you talk to him when he gets home?
No, it's important that I talk about this now.
Look, honey, I don't feel very good, okay? I don't know. I haven't been feeling good for days. Well, I know that, but...
Your health. You're not paying a lot of attention to what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah?
And you're just ignoring everything I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I can't.
Hello? Jim, are you all right?
Doesn't he answer?
Jim?
Mr. Tyson, you all right?
Mrs. Tyson, you okay?
What's wrong?
I think you're having a heart attack.
What's going on over there?
Jim, what's wrong? Is anybody there?
The tragedy is that individuals can be overpowered by unmet challenges, often at the peak of their productive years, when their families and their employers need them most. The physician in such cases salvages what he can, knowing that unless the person is empowered to prevail over life challenges, he will continue to be vulnerable.
What we do is incomplete. We see patients in whom we've done technical feats of marvel. We put them back together, knowing they're going back to the same routine that will get them back in the hospital again. We need the patient with us. And if we don't engage the patient psychologically, we're fighting two diseases. We're fighting the disease that the patient has and then the patient's attitude. And that's too much of a battle to be very successful with.
What is needed is a restoration of the health professional's time-honored role as advisor and educator. A partnership for health, helping individuals learn how best to influence their own well-being.
What you should be taught to do is to become a carer, a steward of your own health, who shares that stewardship with specialists of various kinds, so that it becomes an interactive relationship. The medical center should be the place where all this is going on, where the teaching continues to focus on the human being.
Hemisphere of the brain.
A new vision of the mission of health professionals is now taking shape, one that is not limited to combating disease, but will teach people how to take control of their own health. Dr. David C. Munns, Senior Health Administration Official, St. Louis University Medical Center.
The healthcare system is more expansive than the way we currently are thinking about it. We've restricted our opportunities by focusing in on one aspect of health, illness, and we don't realize how health is intertwined in everything that is part of life. Most of us don't really feel that we have any control over disease, over our symptoms, over our illnesses, and so we relinquish that control and put it in the hands of someone else. That is a misconception not only in the minds of the public, but I think in the minds of the healthcare provider. Many times the healthcare provider is not ready to see themselves as useful until the individual presents themselves with the signs and symptoms of illness. And what the healthcare provider might want to do is think of themselves as more a teacher and a motivator of the people to take care of themselves, to prevent a lot of the problems that have been traditionally treated by the medical system. And so these are the programs that are pushing the system to realize what is possible. And what is possible, it's enormous.
The healthcare system has an opportunity to provide people with the knowledge and the skills in how to negotiate life challenges, how to stay on top, how to use the resources that are available to everyone.
The potential for health and personal enhancement exists for everyone, regardless of age. Aging itself is an example of a life challenge we all would hope to encounter. How we deal with personal aging is likely to be affected by the way we have been conditioned to think about it.
Old age is a myth that we've created, and what is most dangerous about our ideas is the self-fulfilling prophecy that we're going to grow rigid and no use, biodegradable objects, unemployable, on the very periphery of society. The important thing is that this doesn't have to happen. What should happen is that you should die young, as late as possible, by preserving that youthful spirit which should be inhabiting your body.
I'll tell you what, if I ever have to go, the best place to go is right on the slopes. At first in the morning I can even wait to get on the slopes. And once I had my 10 or 15 runs, I go home and then I sleep like a baby.
We have good evidence now that if you retain that youthful spirit, your body is much less likely to become inefficient and break down.
I'm 70 years old, and I've been skiing since I was quite young. I keep very active, and I've been very interested in nutrition and exercising, and hardly ever sick. Can't even remember when.
I don't know. I don't get sick. I'm always out in the open. You don't get sick when you're out in the open.
I know a skier who is 98 and a skier who is 107. Smith Johansson of Canada. He is now 107 years old. He doesn't ski as much as he did, but he still gets out there on cross-country skiing. And here, a few years ago, he got married.
So far as I can tell, those of us who are in our 40s, 50s, and even 60s are a lot healthier than many of the people I know in their 30s. We can do more.
Last year, when I went for a checkup, Doc said, come back next year. He said, you're in better shape than I am. He's a young man.
I think you just got to keep busy to keep in good health and good shape.
You just can't sit on your duff, let's say, and see people do things. You must do it.
It just makes you feel gorgeous.
Optimism, a playful spirit, enjoyment of activity, and a balanced perspective in weighing our pursuit of personal goals against the needs of others. These are the qualities that promote growth, health, and well-being, and they are qualities we possess from the beginning.
The secret lies in understanding the child, because there he is with all his potentialities ready to go to become a warm, loving, healthy human being. An adult is nothing more nor less than a deteriorated child. And the tragedy for most people lies in the difference between what they were capable of becoming and what they're being caused to become. That doesn't relieve you for a moment of the responsibility hereafter for making yourself over into the loving person that you are not.
Okay, Dad. I'm going to the hospital to see Jim.
Yeah, well, you better get going. Visiting hours will start pretty soon.
Take care, Sharon.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Gramps.
Where you been?
Just hanging around.
You haven't been going to school, have you?
No.
Care to tell me why?
Well, all the kids in school, they don't really even understand me, or neither does Dad or anybody.
Well, sweetie, I understand.
How could you understand?
Remember when your grandmother died?
Yeah.
And I felt so lost and alone. I felt something like you feel now when you thought your father was going to die. And it wasn't easy. There was an awful lot of adjusting to do. But I did, and you will too.
Maybe you do understand.
But I'll tell you something. In order to be understood and in order to be liked, you have to give of yourself and want to be liked. You know, maybe I ought to take some of my own advice too. I tell you what, if you promise to go to school and make friends, I'll promise not to be so grouchy. D'accord? The French say that. It means agreed.
D'accord.
Good.
What the empowerment process does is to help people learn how to make those shifts during more dramatic times of life challenges, during times when we're not as familiar with what to do in order to stay on course.
Bob, listen to me. Jim, all right.
The difficult task of changing may be brought about by a crisis. Sometimes we are tempted to avoid coming to grips with a critical situation. We want to carry on as if nothing has happened.
Over there to her office this afternoon.
Yet it is just such a circumstance, if recognized and accepted, that can be a turning point.
Hi, Doctor. How you doing?
Fine. I'm fine.
How am I doing? How am I, Don? That's what I want to ask you.
You're doing all right so far. But of course, you know, you're a very lucky man. It could have been fatal.
That's what they tell me, but I feel much, much better, and I feel with a pocket full of pills, I'll be out at my office, and I'll be much better. Because you wouldn't believe the way these guys are messing up. It's incredible, but at a time like this, I realize I have to do everything myself.
Hello. He's doing quite well. Yeah. Why don't you call back a little bit later, please? Thank you.
Was that my office?
Yes.
No, wait a minute. I have to be tuned in
You
with
hear
the
the way
office.
you're speaking now?
Yes.
This is exactly the reason why you're here. You're not here because you're unlucky. You're here because you don't exercise. You're not concerned about your nutrition. And according to your wife, you haven't relaxed or taken a day off in months.
Exercise, relax. I don't have time for any of those things.
Tell me, do you know how to play the harp?
What kind of question is that?
But if you continue living the same lifestyle that you have been showing me here, that's exactly what you'll be doing.
Look, Doc, you got a great bedside manner, but I got to get the heck out of here.
Because
I got a mortgage to pay.
You have a decision to make, don't you?
What decision?
You have to decide whether this new project is worth your life. You have to put some balance back into your life. Think about it. I have rounds I have to make, and I'll be back later. I want that commitment before I leave the hospital.
In every stage of empowerment, we need to be able to look forward to taking our first step, a transition from where we are now to where we want to be.
Now, this is dedication, I gotta tell you.
I love it.
I like it too. You know, I'm gonna do this every morning before work. And it doesn't really matter what the weather is. I notice there's nobody else out here, but that's great. There's Ed Dempsey over there.
Who's that?
A friend of mine from the city.
Hi, Jen, how are you?
Hey, Ed! You smoking cigarettes? Why? Come on, straighten up. Exercise, pal.
I just haven't got the time.
Take it easy, Ed.
There's Gramps over there.
Where?
There he is.
He's into it,
There
isn't
he
he?
is.
Hi, Gramps.
Hi, sweetie.
Hold it, kids.
Okay.
Gramps is really happy now that he has something to do.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm happy because he's not happy.
He's not at home all the time.
That's
Sitting around,
right.
moping and depressed and...
But his attitude has changed. Well, actually, my attitude has changed also. And I'm going to run a marathon in Boston, perhaps in 2 years from now.
Look, right now, let's keep to the exercise program that we
Well,
have.
I'm going to do it slowly. I can't just do it all at once. It takes time.
We have a lot to be thankful for.
I know I do. I have the most beautiful family in the entire world. I have a good job, and I have my health back. And what more can a man want?
A man could want some of that turkey.
Good idea.
The act of restoring equilibrium to our lives requires a thoughtful assessment of how the things that truly matter can be brought together in harmony. A recognition that the challenges of life met with confidence and equanimity enhance rather than diminish us. And gradually, our newly restored regard for ourselves is reflected in the ways we relate to those who are important to us.
How's the crossing guard job going?
That corner really needed organizing. Do you believe that those cars didn't want to come to a full stop? Well, they do now. I gotta take care of my little honey here.
Sharon, how's school going?
School's great. I'm playing an Indian princess in the play.
Let's eat.
It's Thanksgiving. Maybe we should say something.
Can I? I memorized this Indian saying for my school play that I'm doing. It goes like this. The life cycle of the creation is endless. Life into life forever. The child becomes a parent who soon becomes a respected elder. Life is so sacred. It is good to be a part of all of this. Let's eat.
Beautiful.
As we engage the empowerment process in a systematic way, we find that everything comes back into line, that our mind, our bodies, our behavior all seem to work in harmony, in synchrony, and that we have a spirit of commitment. We have a spirit of moving towards something. When we're on target, when we're moving towards our goals of self-enhancement, towards productivity, towards health, towards firm, strong relationships, we find that we can release tension, we're able to roll with the punches. We are decisive, we can think very clearly, we can feel motivated, we want to do things. In addition to that, we have endurance, stamina, flexibility, the strength that it takes to physically get through our day. We're able to dance with life challenges. We say yes to our new way of acting and being.